Hello friend, welcome to my channel. My name is Kim Ho Leung. Today I'm going to talk about the hero's journey. So what is this journey? What is this framework all about? This framework with 12 phases basically tells the whole story of humankind. It is, if we're open to it, that we can recognize these 12 phases in our own life. And that gives meaning and purpose. It was Joseph Campbell in 1949 who wrote his most famous work, The Hero with a Thousand Faces, where he describes that the hero who embarks on a journey, when he leaves his home in order to find the gold at the end of the rainbow, he goes through these 12 archetypical phases. He climbs the mountain, he overcomes the obstacles, he celebrates successes, he falls, meets adversity, gets help. And these phases is actually a reflection of our own life. Campbell in his book wrote about 8 phases. And these 8 phases would consist or would create and describe the perfect story, or the monomyth, as Campbell said. Later, 4 more phases were added. So I'm working with the 12 phases today. In this moment, I like to start with the first phase of the hero's journey. So are you ready? Once upon a time, in a land far away, tucked away in the Andes Mountains, there lived a family. There lived this man, and this family, they moved from the Netherlands as they embarked on a journey to find a better life, to live in a country with a nice climate, to grow their own foods, and also to connect with nature. So that's my story. When me and my family embarked on a hero's journey to leave the Netherlands and move to Ecuador. So a good story in fairy tales, in fables, in stories of Native Americans, in Buddhist stories, Viking stories, you name it. A story begins with a prologue. A prologue gives an overview of the daily life of the hero. It shows where the hero lives, it shows the daily routine, the rhythms, and what basically the life is of the hero. But underneath the surface, there may be something stirring up. The hero is longing for something. The hero is missing something. And he doesn't know that yet. So the longings, the visions and the dreams for a new life are growing. The energy is increasing, yet it is not sticking through the surface. So the prologue of a story also is the whole story in a nutshell. How often do we watch movies? How often when we read stories and we read the first pages or we watch the first minutes of a prologue of a movie, we already know, or most of the times, how this story is going to unfold, what the hero is going to encounter. But we usually stick around because we are intrigued by how excuse me, the hero will go on this journey, how he will overcome these obstacles. So the prologue is phase number 1. It's the big picture, it's an overview of the daily life, it's the start of a new vision and dreams bubbling up. Phase number 2 of the journey is the call to the adventure. When the dreams, when the longings of the heroes become so strong, when there's so much energy that it breaks through the surface, the hero feels called to set out on a new adventure. And in movies or stories, usually there is a archetypical messenger, or it's a written message, or it's an email, or it's a phone call that sets the hero in motion and basically sets the story in motion. It seems like that with the call to the adventure, the universe is summoning the hero to go for it, to step away from the community that he knows, to step away from home and step out of the comfort zone and to go for whatever he or she is looking for. So you would see the call to the adventure, for example, in a movie like Amélie, where Amélie, through a coincidence, finds in a crevice in a wall a little box, and in this box are pictures, and she's so intrigued by it, she's so mesmerized by it, that she immediately gets the call to find the owner of this box, and also to become a good doer for all people. And that is like the inciting moment where the story gets its energy, and we, as a viewer, we are sucked into the story. So the call to the adventure, we can recognize this also in our daily life. What are you being drawn to in this moment? What inner call do you feel? And what was a life-changing call in your life? So number 2, the call to the adventure. When the hero steps out of his community, steps out of his comfort zone, and goes on this hero's path, usually that moment is met with resistance. That's number 3, meeting resistance. Can the hero do it? Will the community allow the hero to depart? Or is the hero confident enough to go when doubt, disbelief creeps into his mind? And this is also a very pivotal phase, because one could say that a strong call to the adventure, when in life you feel you need to do something, you want to change the world, or you want to travel, or you want to step into new ventures, often resistance kicks in. It seems like a universal law, but the resistance is needed. The resistance, or the refusal of the call, gives the hero time to flex his muscles, time for preparation, time to ask, info from friends or the community. So in a story, when there is resistance, when there is like a temporary pause of the call to the adventure, it adds depth to the story. It adds depth to the hero, because we in our lives, we also meet resistance on a daily basis, and this resistance is needed to sort of give extra power to the things that we do, and to gain courage, and also to feel confident that even though this goal, this step seems daunting, we need to do that. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.